Welcome to Makan Kiki, a series where we gather youths from all walks of lives and identities to talk about the education system in Singapore over delicious meals. At the end, we'll ask them to chope or nope about their takeaways. Let's makan and have a kiki! So, question 1. What is your favorite subject in school and why? Let's start with Deco.
Oh my goodness, I love this. So back in primary school, there's this very cool teacher, and I'll call him Mr. I. Mr. I was very cool. I always trying to bond with the students, and the subject is literature. So Mr. I was like bringing us to read books, right, to improve our English. But not only just that, right, getting us to really see the contextualization of the books, and also helping us, right, to learn better storytelling. How can we have better creative writing?
So, what is the first memory you think of when school is mentioned?
My favorite memory is the Scholastic Book Fair. That's where I discovered my love for Percy Jackson. I think it's you always get a letter telling you that they're coming, right, and a booklet. So I would always like ask my parents, can I have this calculated amount so that I can buy this specific book?
Okay, so thank you so much for all your insightful comments. Now it's time to makan. But before y'all do that, y'all have to guess what y'all are eating. Okay? On the count of 3, when I show it, you have to guess, okay?
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
Burger, oh.
So while all of y'all are filling your bellies, we'll be asking you a few questions that are a bit deeper. So, what does it mean to be transgender, intersex, or gender non-conforming to you?
I'm more gender non-conforming. I do dress very mask, button-up shirts and the pants and blah blah. And even though I use he/they pronouns, the he is more so for the convenience of navigating a wider society.
Actually, mine is similar also. Like, to me, transgender is definitely outside of the gender you are assigned by, like, whatever assigns your gender. But I think my idea of, like, your stereotypical masculine, feminine is definitely warped a lot because I'm gender fluid. So I definitely travel between the two.
Growing up, it was mainly a genderless environment. So when I finally found out that I was intersex, I just felt peaceful. Right now, I'm still clinging onto even though, well, in a very equal world, I would be identifying as non-binary as well because that's what my gender identity is. In the trans community, I just feel extremely lonely. I think it's still the want of hoping to connect with more people that make me very persistent on placing the intersex label in front of being non-binary.
We'll move on to your second question. So, was your school's administration helpful with your gender exploration and discovery?
I'll say school administration is not, especially our school's administrations aren't the most sympathetic towards not just like trans folks or even like people exploring gender, just LGBT folks in general. There were students, other students from my school that were very obviously like they were part of the community, and they would be shunned or they'd be bullied a bit, and people talk about them. But there was never an active effort by any of the administration to be like, you can't say that, you can't be bullying them.
It not ever crossed my mind that the school admin would like help you with anything LGBT. It's like, to me, that was like completely oxymoronic, right? It's like, in a way, it didn't even hurt me because my expectations were so low. It's like, it's the same thing as like the water is wet, the sun is up. Of course, the administration will not do anything. I think because in primary school, even before like anything about gender or anything like that, I saw that a lot of schools cannot take any action about bullying. So I already colored my perspective on what they're able to do, right? There are teachers who are like homophobic and like they just talk about it in class and that's okay. But if like a teacher is accepting, they're like super scared. They can only say something like, for this issue, right, you know how I feel like, cause I'm a lead teacher. They're like so, like the most vague, like chaotic way possible. So it's like you see all these clues and then you feel like, do you think I'm dumb or what? If you think that I'm gonna go to admin about being LGBT, give me all these clues already, right? Yeah.
Okay, everyone. So now we're gonna move on to the deeper questions. So, what would you suggest for cis people accepted?
I think that they should be a bit more, in general, open-minded. I think especially to our like not cisgender siblings, they definitely need more open-mindedness towards gender also.
I think there's like a lot of misinformation online. So it's like there are people who form assumptions and stances on LGBT people without even having met any LGBT people in real life. And it's like, so if you have not had the opportunity to really sit down and have a respectful conversation with an LGBT person, it's okay to just not have an opinion on the matter. You can just be like, oh, I don't know enough about this, so yeah.
Lastly, what advice would you give to trans, intersex, or gender non-conforming people that are still in the education system?
Firstly, you're not alone, right? There are people out there who are also hiding their identities within the schools as well. It will be very hard to find them, but don't give up.
Yeah, don't lose hope. Since you're still in the education system, you most likely have a long way ahead of you. It may be really tough at the moment. Our education system is brutal. You will get there. You'll get there eventually.
Okay, so now y'all have your chope or note paddles. So we're gonna be asking you a few questions, and y'all just have to show chope, which means yes, you agree, and note, which means you don't agree. Okay? So, is there enough support for trans, intersex, and gender non-conforming students in Singapore? So, on the count of three, we're gonna show our paddles. 1, 2, 3. Oh, wow, that's very red. So, maybe Isaac, you wanna share why you say no?
Is there enough support? Well, firstly, I need to think of what support there is. So I can't think of any, so there's not enough.
Next question, get ready your paddles. Do you think it would ever be safe to come out in Singapore's education system? On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh, okay.
I think there will come a time where the LGBT children and teenagers and young adults can just go to be like, yeah, I am so and so, I'm trans, I'm bi, whatnot, I'm within the LGBT spectrum, and you go, okay, and there'll be school administration supporting them and whatnot. It is hopeful, it is super optimistic, and we all may die before we even see that happen, but I would like to believe that there's a potential for that.
I agree that it's good to be hopeful and there will probably change in time. But again, also, it's up to the individual because back in secondary school, there were issues with the counselor.
Very much the same for me. Like, I was also thinking about how the staff in like my previous school, I'm hearing also from my sibling how she went to the counselors for assistance and they dismissed it, or they didn't react to it properly. So in a way, as much as I also want to hope and pray that the education system would turn out to be a safe space, it is a low chance with the higher powers that we have currently.
After hearing everyone's experiences, do you feel less lonely in your struggles as a trans, intersex, and gender non-conforming person in the education system, or out of it? Okay, paddles, ready? 1, 2, 3. Yay! Oh, okay. We have it all, almost all green. So Yesha, maybe you can share why.
There's so many different conditions that, and I would say until now, I haven't exactly come across like someone else with like similar similar experiences to feel like I can give them advice, or I can get heard, or I feel there's a community. Generally, I'll actually put like this because there's part of it is like yes, a little part is still no.
Okay, anything last that y'all want to add before we end?
Thank you for the food.
Thank you so much! Thank you so much for tuning into our debut. Click here for our socials and click here to subscribe. Let's makan next time!